And welcome to our community. Susie Thomas with you this morning. Always a pleasure to welcome Kevin Miller from Habitat for Humanity Restore. Good morning.
Good morning.
There's no rest for the weary, is there? You have plenty on your plate to
Always.
talk about. But what does this time of year mean for you and your schedule, Kevin?
Wow. So on the restore side of things, it's spring cleaning season. And so lots of folks are donating because they're wanting to clear out some space for a fresh new look in their home. On the Habitat for Humanity home building side of things, we've got a lot of building happening. It's build season now. So we're out on sites, we're graveling, we're building foundations, we're getting the houses ready for deck layout and exterior walls going up and all of that. So volunteers are out and people are sponsoring homes and companies are sending their teams out to build with Habitat. And it's an exciting time of year. It's also like a ramp back up. Mm-hmm. It's a bit of a culture shock on all of us as we get back around to this time of year and realize how busy it is because we're doing so much work throughout the community, not just the retail side of Habitat for Humanity Restore, but the home building side of Habitat. It's all just thriving and really kicking in right now.
With the warmer weather, I think,
exactly.
is what we start to think about these kinds of things. So let's kind of peel this back a little bit. Spring cleanup. As we are remodeling, what kinds of things are you taking? Are there things that you don't take? What should we do?
Right. So it's well known that Restore offers free donation pickup, and this is great for this time of year.
Awesome.
When you're cleaning things out, when you're doing remodels, even those of you who might have some demolition projects coming up, we do deconstruction as well as part of our Habitat services.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, really.
For free?
For free. And we send a team of volunteers, trained, skilled, insured volunteers. They go out to properties that are scheduled for remodeling or demolition. We'll take out all the usable materials, the things you as the owner of that property will permit us to take. We bring them back to Restore and we separate them. We sell metals for scrap. We sell what we can in the Restore. If it's a good product like cabinets or appliances that we might remove, that sort of thing. And all of those proceeds, no matter how they come to us, then just funnel right back into the home building ministry of Habitat for Humanity. And that's really a really basic summary of our deconstruction program.
I'm thinking something like a countertop. When you're having that installed, everything has to be so precise as far as, measuring and everything. So how is it possible that you can pull my countertop out carefully, take it back there, and have it fit in someone else's kitchen?
Great question. And people don't have the same kitchens, but they also don't have the same counter requirements. So sometimes these things get cut where they need to be cut so they fit new kitchens perfectly. Sometimes there are those rare chances where things are just perfect.
Wow.
Maybe it was a piece of countertop from an island in the middle of a kitchen, and really that could fit a lot of places. So all kinds of different uses and purposes for all these things. And that's really the beauty of Restore, is that the landfill stays a little cleaner. You're putting money into building homes with Habitat for Humanity families who need decent, affordable shelter. And you, as an owner of a home or a property or a business, are getting a free service of maybe you're preparing, maybe you're a contractor even who's preparing a site for work that you're about to do. Well, we can use our team and our tools and our insured workforce to come out and clear out a space that you're getting ready to remodel.
A lot of nonprofits also do remodeling, and tell us why we should come to Restore before we go to one of the box stores in town.
Exactly, and that's another good question. And right now, for example, we have a large supply of brand new laminate flooring at Restore, and it's something like $20 a box. And somebody I was speaking with recently said, I just did this, and I spent like $70 a box. This is killing me.
Yes.
So you really don't want to have that feeling of buying it somewhere else before you've looked at Restore, because you really don't know what's going to be there. That's why we always say, and by now you can probably say it with me, you miss a day, you miss a deal at Restore. And it's worth watching our Facebook page. We've got about 25,000 people now who interact with us there on a daily basis. We do contests and giveaways. We feature new products that we have in the store, and that's at facebook.com/RestoreECO.
And let's go over what laminate flooring is is like these days. This is not your grandma's laminate
Right.
flooring.
So I was talking about this with our Restore director this morning, and he was talking about really this is a great product because you buy a foam pad for underneath the flooring, then you snap it together, and you're basically done. It's really plug and play these days, and so you don't need a ton of tools. You don't need a lot of expertise and know-how. And in fact, our team at Restore would be happy to talk through what that process looks like and how simple it can be.
And do you have the kind that look like hardwood?
Yeah, we have
my
a couple
gosh.
different types, oak and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, so it looks great, and it's
Wear.
durable. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
It's tougher
Yeah, it
than
is.
the wood.
Yep.
You can spill on it.
Exactly. You can do all kinds of things. Scratch your furniture across it, you're going to be fine. All
Kids
that.
can roller skate, the whole nine
The whole
yards.
9 yards.
That is amazing. So I'm hoping by the time this airs that it's not all gone. But that
Well,
really
we'll see.
Quite
Better
a deal.
get down there.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you miss a day, you miss a deal.
That's right.
Okay. So building season. Let's talk a little bit about that. What is required? What do we do to be able to build a home?
Right. So volunteering with Habitat is something that this community is very good at. And we are so grateful for that. We've got about 5,000 volunteers a year that come through the doors of Habitat for Humanity. And that's all kinds of things. That's working on a work site. That's volunteering at Restore, helping us stock shelves and move around inventory. That's helping in the office. That's making meals for work sites. That's making cookies for regular volunteers. It can be anything.
Yeah.
You bring your passion, you bring your skill set, whatever that looks like, and we're going to find a place for you to help address the issues of affordable housing in our community. And so really right now with build season going on, we've got a lot of companies, a lot of churches, a lot of individuals. We're all over the place. We're building in Denison. We're building in Canton. We're building in Massillon. We're building all over East Central Ohio. And it's kicking up in a big way. And there are so many places for people to serve. And we make it as simple as possible for people to really get connected with us. So if you're listening to this and you're interested in volunteering your time, your skills with Habitat, we'll make it simple. Go to habitateco.org. You'll see a big volunteer section there. Or give our team a call at 330-915-5888. We've got a whole team that's dedicated to connecting volunteers because volunteers really are the heart of Habitat for Humanity.
We'll give those a couple of times as well. One thing that I loved you were talking about last year was you were really building a whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like that going on right now?
We do. We're actually preparing, and I don't have all the details with me, but I'm excited about it, so I'm going to share it. But we're preparing a big community cleanup that's going to be happening in various places across our city, and we're excited to do that. And that's part of that renewal project effort, which is what you're speaking about. So over the course of, I think it was 4 years, $3.5 million of investment, we've been working to revitalize an entire neighborhood on the northeast side of Canton. And that includes things like new construction, preserve a home construction, where we're taking a structure that already exists and bringing it back to life instead of just demolishing it or writing it off or letting it be a blight in the community. We're helping residents, for example, who are aging in place with critical home repairs,
Right.
with minor home repair projects, with community cleanups. We even help to build and facilitate a pocket park in the community and a new bus stop. And that was a lot of people all coming together. That's the city, that's SARTA, that's neighborhood associations, that's Habitat for Humanity team members. We've hosted movie nights in the community where we set up in the town square, or in the community square, like a big old movie screen, and we play a movie and we enjoy the time together as a community. Kids are playing in the yard. This is a place where that wasn't happening before. People didn't feel like a sense of pride or that the community was safe enough or strong enough. And we're seeing a real revitalization there. We're in conversations about doing this again on the southeast side of our city. And so this would be the second one. It's part of our goals. We're going to work out how to get it done. We're working right now with city officials and having conversations with the appropriate people and organizations so that we can make this an effort that brings together the best of Habitat for Humanity humanity, the best of this city, so that we can revitalize an entire community and not just, it's good enough, to do a house here and a house there and a house here and a house there. But imagine what if we can address the issues of entire neighborhoods and really impact at the same time hundreds and hundreds of people, because now they feel safe and they feel confident in their community. They feel a sense of pride and ownership again. Those are really the sort of intangible things that Habitat is great about building through the very tangible product of a decent, affordable place to call home.
I'm just so happy to hear that you're part of that conversation, because we've been hearing so much about communities being displaced.
Yeah.
When some kind of a great thing for the community is coming through, then where do those people go? But maybe they don't have to go anywhere, because you can make the housing not look substandard. The fact that you can have something that a person can just fix up and be able to, the elderly don't have to move and go somewhere else and try and find something else they can afford. You're bringing affordable housing right there.
Yeah.
When I was hearing these conversations, I was thinking, wait, haven't you people heard about Habitat for Humanity?
Right.
Are they involved in this? So I'm so glad to hear
so
that you are.
one of the things we talk about at Habitat is breaking this cycle of poverty. And when we say that, we're really talking about a mindset. We're breaking the system that's causing that loop, or at least we're working toward that. It's sort of a never-ending goal. But also, we're trying to break the mindset that keeps families and people in that cycle. And at the same time, when we're talking about the renewal project and these neighborhood investments, we're talking about breaking the cycle of disinvestment, right? So we're helping families imagine more for themselves. And so even all those project types that I mentioned, the Preserve a Home, the critical home repair, minor home repair, those aren't, as nothing is in Habitat, a free handout.
Right.
Those are investments that families are making through zero interest loans and zero interest mortgages. And Habitat is the one who is able to facilitate those zero interest loans and mortgages. But it's skin that everyone has in the game, and nobody's getting a handout. They're getting a hand up instead. And there's a lot more interest and personal ownership in something when it's done that way. And we've seen that, for the past 30 years.
Are businesses involved so that when they see these communities and this neighborhood revitalization happening, that they say, well, maybe I would like to locate my grocery store there, or my hardware store there, or my dry cleaner, my laundromat, something to start bringing a little bit of the things that you need in a community to the community?
Yeah, that's a slow process because those investments are so big and so many things have to come into place. But those conversations are happening, and that is an incredible benefit to this program, this renewal project that we've been undertaking with the help of so many people. And to answer your question directly, yes, community businesses and organizations and churches and schools and any type of community organization you can think of have been involved in this renewal project. And that is I think that's one of the bigger wins of something like this, beyond the fact that affordable housing that is decent and safe and healthy is existing where those things weren't present before is one thing, but having such a tremendous buy-in from the entire community is another thing that we take very seriously and invest a lot of time and effort in. I mean, relationship is always hard, but when you're trying to do work on top of that relationship, on the foundation of that relationship, things can really take off when there's a sense of trust there and a community that has a camaraderie about it.
There are many ways that churches and companies and businesses can participate. The bigger commitment would be saying, I'm building, I'm coming in there.
Yeah.
A smaller one, maybe a micro yes, would be, I can bring some of my extra supplies to you or something like that. Gifts in kind. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, that's a great, so let's kind of start at the big picture. There are companies, organizations out there that sponsor whole homes. And when I say sponsor a house, I mean, they're investing like $50,000, to sponsor a home that actually costs about $80,000. And the difference between those two numbers is we make that up with homeowner house payments and restore revenue, right? So that's what closes that gap between home sponsorship and the actual cost of building a home. So as Habitat families are making their payments, their zero interest mortgage payments are cycling back in to help build more and more homes. And as people are shopping and donating at Restore, those purchases are then cycling back in to make up that difference as well. So at the top level, we've got home sponsorship, and there are all different flavors of that, if you will. So $50,000 is like the Timken Company or whatever. They've actually been sponsoring homes for like 20 years. They've sponsored over 20 homes with Habitat for Humanity in that way. And that's such a huge investment in this community. And they should be very, very proud about that. And we thank them every way we can, every time we can think of it. And they're not the only ones. There are, all kinds of companies out there. Progressive Foam Technologies is a great partner of Habitat for Humanity. Timken Steel is a great partner. I could go on and on and on and on and on. And at the sake of forgetting someone or leaving someone out, I'm not going to go any farther on that.
Yes.
But there are different levels of that too. So we've got, partial home sponsorships. We've got faith builds where a group of churches come together and they all invest a little bit of money, say $5,000 each, and then they come out and they all volunteer helping build this home. So there are all different ways that homes can get built functionally when we're talking about the financial part of that. Beyond that, there are companies out there that donate products as well. I mentioned Progressive Foam Technologies because they were kind of in my head for this part, where they've donated siding for a tremendous amount of houses that Habitat for Humanity builds in this area. So it's not just dollars. Sometimes it's product. But there are also gifts in kind where if a company's out there and they're manufacturing goods or they're a distributor and they've got like scratch and dent products or, product that they've got to get rid of because they have a new line. Don't just throw it away. Don't just put it in the landfill. Call Habitat Restore, and we can arrange pickup for those sorts of things, and we can then sell those to the public. You get a tax benefit for that, for donating to Habitat for Humanity, but then at the same time, we get the benefit of being able to push those proceeds right into home building. And again, like I said, the houses cost a certain amount, and we ask a certain amount in sponsorships, and the sponsorship level is lower than the actual cost. And so to make up that difference, we're using homeowner house payments, that zero interest mortgage, and the funds from Restore. Those are the ways that we make all this work. We call it the Fund for Humanity, that cycle that just keeps things going.
And that fills the gap. It's
and it
enough
all
to fill the gap.
And it does. And it time after time, we see it happen again and again and again. And
Amazing.
That's how everybody in Habitat, whatever your place, whether you're I mentioned the Timken Company a lot of times. They have not paid me to say this. But if you're the
people.
Timken Company, that's one thing. And if you're an individual who's got $1, that's one thing. If you're an individual who's got an hour, that's another thing. If you're a family who needs a place to call home, that's another thing. And as you are making your zero interest payments, you are helping to build homes just like the Timken Company, just like the person with $1, just like the person who likes to pray and calls Habitat for Humanity one of their prayer responsibilities.
True community. We're speaking with Kevin Miller. He's from Habitat for Humanity Restore. We'll be back after these words. You're listening to Our Community.